Hi guys, today I am here to tell you how it is that I learned to read English and speak the English if I'm not from the United States. And in advance, I apologize because the sun is kind of not working right now. It's behind clouds. The thing is that I woke up and I had a lot of energy and I was like, I want to make a video, and someone was like, fuck you, try to film without me. Boom. So I am right near the window trying to get as much sunlight as possible so that you can see me. So sorry about that. And now for the video. So a couple of people have wondered how it is that I speak the English and I write the English and I read the English if I'm not from the United States. And I thought of making a video about it, but I always thought it would be kind of boring and not that interested. But it just got requested by Camilla. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. I'm so sorry. But she asked if maybe I could do a video about it, and I decided that maybe it's time. So if English isn't your first language, I will give you a couple of tips as to how to learn it. And if you're just curious, you can totally just stay and watch and see how it is that I did it. If you're interested. Okay, so first, tips. If you want to speak English and understand English, you gotta watch movies in English and you gotta see TV in English and YouTube in English and everything just in English. That's what you gotta do. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And if you want to read and write in English, you have to read everything you can in English and write everything you can in English, and just with reading, just read everything you can in English. The writing will come naturally, but yes, just read everything in English. That's how you do it. That's it. I've never taken classes. I mean, English is a mandatory course in school, like in elementary school or in high school, just as much as in the United States. It's like taking Spanish. You don't learn shit. So I've actually learned it all on my own since I was the sun came out. Since I was a little kid, my parents would only allow me to watch movies and programs and TV in English, and I hated that. But I could only watch it in English, and now I'm very thankful for that, funny enough. And just naturally, very naturally, I learned to speak in English and to pronounce it and understand it, and it's never been an issue for me. Not at all. I never learned to write it or read it, but since I was a baby, I was bilingual. I was just bilingual. So if you have kids, just do that. Put the TV or the movies in a language that you want them to learn, and they will learn it so easily and effortlessly. That's the first tip. If you're older, it will still help you. Trust me, you might not be able to pronounce it quite as well. I mean, I've learned it since childhood, and I don't pronounce it flawlessly. But yeah, it will help either way. And just hearing other people talk about it and try to talk it yourself. Practice. So that's how I learned English, and it was so easy, and it's just watch the movies in English or in Spanish or whatever language that you want. It will help. With subtitles if you want. As for reading and writing, so like I said, I did not know how to write or how to read in English. I really didn't. I was barely there. I could read few things. But apart from like very few basic things, I didn't know anything. And when I was 15, the Twilight movies came out, and I really liked Twilight, the first one, and I wanted to read the books, and I wanted to buy it in English for some reason. And my mom told me that no, I would not be buying it in English because I did not know how to read in English. And just so you know, before 15, I was not an avid reader. I had not read almost any books. I read very few. I read the Harry Potter books, and that was it. I really wasn't interested in reading. I didn't like it. So I was one of those kids that never read. But I was 15 and I wanted to read something. I wanted to read the Twilight book, but I wanted to read it in English. And my mom said, if you don't read worth shit in Spanish, you're not gonna read this book in English. Not in those words, but the meaning was clear. And me being 15 years old, I was a stubborn kid, and I was like, yes I can! I can read that book in English without any problems. And I grabbed the book at Target, and I sat down on the aisle, I just sat down on the floor, and I began to read Twilight. And I didn't understand a word they were saying. Because I could read the basic words, but written English, it's very different from normal, like English, because you're describing actions like nodding or smirking, and I had no idea what those words were. So I had a small moment of panic and defeat inside me because my mother had won. and I was a teenage rebel, so she couldn't win. But she was right. I couldn't read it, and I was really sad about that. That happened on December, you see now, a few weeks before Christmas, and on Christmas, I got the 4 Twilight books in Spanish. And I was happy because I had the books now, even though they were in Spanish, and I felt defeated, like I said. But I read the 4 books in like one sitting, which was a week, because I'm a slow reader, so you know, but I read them all like... So I read the 4 books in 1 week, and I was really happy with the 4 books because I really liked them at the time, because it was a fresh new mind into the world of reading, and I didn't know better, and yada yada, stop being judgmental. So I read the Twilight books, I really liked them, I read them in Spanish, and because I was such a hardcore teenage rebel, I bought the 4 books again in English, and I was like, suck it, Mom! And I got a dictionary in Spanish and in English. I'll go get it. It smells so old. Notes. Here's my Twilight copies in Spanish, and the ones in English are up in the shelf. I'm way too lazy to get them because they're at the bottom of a little pile, but they're the same covers but in English. I got my 4 Twilight books. I sat on this bed, on this little pillow couchy thing. I grabbed my Spanish-English dictionary and I began to read and translate. I would read Crepúsculo, which is Twilight in Spanish, and the Twilight book, and I would be comparing the words, and when something wouldn't make a lot of sense, I would search for it in my dictionary, and I did that for 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to read the 4 Twilight books in English and understand them and whatnot, and by the end of those 2 weeks, I knew how to read English, and I knew how to write it, because I was reading it, so you automatically know how to write it. I am still amazed at my own self. I am really proud of myself because I can't believe it happened. I can't believe that I was such a stubborn, like, little child to the point where I was like, I'm gonna read it in English and suck it, Mom. And it ended up being such a great thing. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I was so determined. So, yeah, I just can't believe it because I'm usually so bad at sticking to things. But no, I totally did it. I did it. I was really proud about that. I was so proud about that. After reading the Twilight books, I bought The Host, La Huésped. I read it in Spanish first, and then I read it in English. And after that, I began reading books in English, just fully the books in English. The first book I read was a Suzanne Colasanti book called Take Me There, which is a really simple book. I began reading really simple books. Currently, I still struggle reading complicated books in English. For example, The Lord of the Rings. I struggle to read that. It's hard. That's a hard thing to read. Shakespeare I cannot read because it's like old English and I don't get it. I really don't get it. I can do the same thing, you know? I still use my little English-Spanish dictionary because I don't always understand the words. Shakespeare is impossible to me in English. It's impossible. But I'm still learning, and also to help me with the pronunciation of my English because I didn't have quite a good pronunciation when I was younger. What I would do was read the books out loud. I would read the books out loud and I would practice my reading, my talking, pronunciation, and everything. And that's how I did it because I am Mexican, born, raised Mexican. I don't have a US citizenship. Never lived there, I've never worked there, never studied there, never nothing there. I just go there every weekend to shop. I do all the grocery shopping and everything shopping in the States. I go every single Saturday to the States. But apart from that, everything else is Spanish. Yeah. And just so you know, the reason why I did the booktube channel and everything in English is because I was reading in English. And most of the books I read in English are not translated yet to Spanish, and in Spanish, we don't have much YA books. We don't. That was actually another big factor in why I wanted to read in English, because when I finished Twilight, I was really hungry for more books, and I wanted to read more, and when I went to the bookstore, I realized that all the books we had there were translated versions of the English books. We don't have many authors here. Mexicans don't read, if you didn't know that. That's an ugly stereotype, but it's a very true thing. I was one of those. So I figured that if I actually wanted to read a lot of books, I would need to learn English, and that also played a big part in it. So the books I was reading were mostly in English and not translated yet in Spanish, so I couldn't talk to my friends about them because they didn't read. They didn't read. And the ones that... And the ones that did read had never heard of the books that I was reading because they were in English. Made sense? I hope it made sense. I created a book club on Goodreads, which is the Young Adult Book Club. I'll link it down below. It has over 13,000 members currently. I'm so proud of it. And to share my loving for reading, and then I made my own blog, I'll link it down below, and also it's called In Between, and I was reading and writing and stuff, and then eventually I just wanted to talk about it like more physically, so I made the YouTube channel, but it all came out in English. And just so you know how to pronounce my YouTube thing, it's Jude H&D. It stands for Jude Henderson. H&D, it's like Henderson short, but you can also call it In Between. Yeah. Fun fact. And that's all I have to say. I hope this video wasn't boring for those of you who stayed, because I feel like I'm just talking about me and it's kind of selfish, and I feel really selfish right now. But I hope it helps some of you guys, if you're not that good with your English or whatever, that this can help you learn a little bit more. And don't ever feel disencouraged. It's never too late to learn a new language. Never. Ever. As cliche as it may sound, it really is never too late. And that's it for today. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you're Mexican. Shout out to you, my people. Shout out to you. I hope you're doing great. And you can leave comments in Spanish. I will reply in Spanish. Don't ever worry about that. And to everyone that's from the States, stop. Stop. This is getting awkward. Bye!